Good morning, students. In the previous class, we have seen how to frame the state equation and output equation for a linear multiple input and multiple output system. Now, in this class, we are going to solve some numerical problems to obtain the state model. So, when you solve a problem, it could either be your electrical network or mechanical network, or it could be an analytical problem also, like for motor. You can also use it to generate the state equation or output equation in case of your armature control of a DC motor or speed control of a DC motor. So in the furthermore sessions, we will be solving some numerical problems to obtain the state equation and output equation by using different methods, and how exactly you are going to arrive at for the state model, how to draw the state model will also be explained in the later session. So the first problem what we are going to discuss is obtain the state model of the electrical network shown below. So here you had shown RLC series circuit. You consider this electrical network. The input given at the electrical network is VI of t, R, L, C. The current flowing through the circuit is IL and the voltage across the capacitor is VC, and this is going to be your output voltage. So when they gave the electrical network like this, first we need to identify what is the number of state variables. To identify the number of state variables, we need to check how many energy storage elements are available in the given network. Here we have two energy storage elements. Inductor is also an energy storage element. Capacitor is also an energy storage element. So these two energy storage elements causes two state variable. So you write first x1, x2. Now if you are considering L as your x1 and C as your x2, the current flowing through the inductor is going to be your first state variable, and voltage across the capacitor is going to be your second state variable. Always the state variables are represented using first order differential equation. So we can write this x1 as x1 dot. First order differential equation means x1 dot. So x1 dot is equal to di of t divided by dt. x2 first order differential equation is x2 dot, which is equal to dvc divided by dt. As soon as we saw the electrical network, first we should identify what is the number of energy storage element. Write the state variables. If you have an inductor, current will be your state variable. If you have a capacitor, voltage will be your state variable. As soon as you have written the state variable, always the state variables are represented using first order differential equation. Just write the first order term for your x1 and x2. After writing, you have to apply a loop equation, either KVL or KCL you need to apply depending upon the circuit it is given. So for this particular circuit, you can apply a loop equation, that is KVL. So it has got only one loop. When you apply a loop equation, you will get input is equal to output. So input VI of t is equal to, the current flowing through this is I of t into R plus L into di by dt, that is the voltage across the inductor is going to be L into di by dt plus Vc. So it is the equation for this loop. So after writing the equation, you have to replace all your physical variable by your state variable. So which is known as a physical variable and which is known as a state variable. The variables that is represented with x are your state variables, and what other variables that is taken from the network, that is going to be your physical variable. So when you replace this particular equation, whatever available over here, it is your physical variable. So when you replace this to your state variable, Vi of t is nothing but your input. So the input is represented with u of t in case of your state variable representation. So Vi of t is represented as u of t. I is nothing but the current, that is I of t is your x1. So x1 into R plus L into, what is di1 by dt? di1 by dt is nothing but your x1 dot. So di1 by dt is replaced with x1 dot plus Vc. What is your Vc? It is x2. So replacing all the physical variables available in this equation to a state variable, you will get u of t is equal to x1 into R plus L into x1 dot plus x2 dot. As you know, we can write the state equation as x1 dot, that is x1 dot, x2 dot, x3 dot, x4 dot, like that. So we need to find from each of the loop equation, we need to identify what is our x1 dot, x2 dot, x3 dot, likewise. So here x1 dot, from this equation we have identified x1 dot is equal to 1 by L u of t minus r by L x1 minus 1 by L into x2. Now what is the voltage across the capacitor? Voltage across the capacitor is Vc. So Vc is nothing but 1 by C integration of I dt. Now you replace all this equation. So to remove this integration, I can differentiate towards this side. If I differentiate, I will get I of t is equal to C into dVc by dt. Replace all the physical variable. Here the physical variable is I of t. dVc by dt is nothing but your physical variable. So when you replace this physical variable in terms of state variable, you will get x1. So I1 is I of t is nothing but x1. C, what is dVc by dt? dVc by dt is nothing but x2 dot. So you replace this dVc by dt as x2 dot. You will get x2. From this equation you can write x2 dot is equal to 1 by C x1. Now we know that the state equation is x dot of t is equal to a x of t plus b u of t. Now find the order of the matrix for A and B. So here, what is the order of the matrix for A? It is state variable representation. So here n, and this is also n. So the order of the matrix A is n cross n. What is n? The number of state variables. How many state variables are we having? 2 state variables. Therefore the order of the matrix A is 2 cross 2. What is the order of the matrix for B? It is your state variable representation. So here n is equal to 2 and u is nothing but your input. Input ranges from 1 to m. So here in the given circuit, how many inputs we have? Only one input. So we have 2 state variables and 1 input. Therefore the order of the matrix B is 2 cross 1. It means 2 rows and 1 column. You know what is x1 dot and what is x2 dot. What is your x1 dot? It is taken from equation 3. What is your x2 dot? It is taken from this equation. So x1 dot is equal to, you need to write the coefficient of x1 here and the coefficient of x2 from your x1. So x1 dot is equal to, what is the coefficient of your x1? Minus r by L. So you have to write a11 as minus r by L. What is the coefficient of x2? So because like this only you will multiply, right? So here you will have the coefficient of x2 in x1 dot. What is the coefficient of x2? Minus 1 by L. Okay. Now similarly, what is x2 dot? x2 dot is equal to 1 by C x1. Here you should write the coefficient of x1 in x2 dot, and here you have to write the coefficient of x2 in x2 dot. So your x2 dot contains only your x1 parameter. So x2 dot is equal to 1 by C. Since x2 is absent in this particular equation, you can put 0 plus B. B is nothing but matrix whose order is 2 cross 1. That is, it has 2 rows and 1 column. And input is u of t. What is the u parameter in x1 dot? The u parameter in x1 dot is 1 by L. So you have to write it as 1 divided by L. What is the u parameter in x2 dot? x2 dot is not having any input parameter. Therefore x2 dot for the u parameter is going to be 0. This complete equation describes the state equation of the system. Now what is your output? From the given circuit, output is V0. V0 is nothing but voltage across the capacitor Vc. So Y is equal to x2. Therefore the output Y of t is equal to x2. Output equation can be written as Cx of t plus du of t. So here Y of t, how many output we have? Only one output. So it is going to be 1. And how many state variables we have? 2. Therefore the order of the C will be 1 cross 2. So you write 1 row 2 columns. In Y of t, what is the coefficient of x1 will come over here, and in Y of t, what is the coefficient of x2 will come over here. So here y of t is equal to x2. So it doesn't have any coefficient for x1. So it is going to be 0 over here, and since the coefficient of x2 here it is 1, so we are having 1 over here. So now we have framed what is your state equation and what is your output equation. After this we need to draw the state model. So when you solve the problem, first you have to identify the number of energy storage element. After identifying the number of energy storage element, according to that we need to write the state variable. When you write the state variable, if it is an inductor, your current will be the state variable. If it is a capacitor, voltage is going to be the state variable. Once you have written the state variable, you need to write the first order differential equation. Why? Because the state variables are always represented using first order differential equation. After writing the first order differential equation for the given electrical network, either you can apply upon the given network, you have to apply either KVL or KCL. You need to frame the equation. Suppose if you identified two state variables, in the state equation you will get what is x1 dot, what is x2 dot. So correspondingly what is your A matrix. So same way you have to follow for your output equation also. Once everything is done, you need to draw the state diagram. So first we need to check. Here are two energy storage elements are there, right? So we need two state variables, that is x1 and x2. But the state variables are always represented using first order differential equation. So you will have x1 dot and x2 dot. From this equation you have only x1 dot and x2 dot. So put 2 integrator. So after putting 2 integrator, your input is going to be x1 dot, and after integrating the output is going to be x1. Same thing for the second integrator, your input is going to be x2 dot and output of this is going to be x2. What is your x1 dot from this equation? You can see it, you can refer equation number 3 or directly from the matrix you can draw. What is your x1 dot? X1 dot is having 3 terms. One is minus r by L into x1 minus 1 by L into x2 plus 1 by L into u. That is 3 terms you are having. Along with you have a gain called 1 by L. So you put the input. 1 by L is your constant parameter, so you put it. So in addition with this, the other two parameters, the other two factors is also going to get added. So what is the other two factors? Minus 1 by r into x1. So along with x1 you have minus r by L. So you have x1 here. Along with x1 you need to multiply r by L. So when you multiply r by L, you will get r by L into x1. Since you have a minus sign, so in the summation point you put minus. Along with x2, what is the term you have? Minus 1 by L. So here you have x2. Take x2 as a reference, multiply it with 1 by L. You will get x2 into 1 by L. Since you have a negative sign, so in the summation point you give minus. So x1 dot is equal to 1 by L into u minus r by L into x1 minus 1 by L into x2. That will be your x1 dot. What is your x2 dot? X2 dot is equal to 1 by c into x1. So we have x1 over here. Along with this x1, if you multiply 1 by c, you are going to get x2 dot. So you can put 1 by c. Here x1 is coming. So x1 into 1 by c. Here you will be getting x1 into 1 by c. That is nothing but your x2 dot. So this is how you need to draw the state diagram. So until unless if you are not practicing, you will not come to know how exactly you need to draw the state diagram. So in the next class, we'll solve some more problems. Thank you, students.